The argument about which type of firearm is the most versatile is at least a couple of centuries old. You have the lads who stand by the rimfire rifles, the chads who firmly protest that a 12 gauge shotgun is the only thing you need, and then you have those who say you need a good centerfire rifle. In this video I will break down each category and I will decide for myself what type of firearm is the most versatile in my opinion. Let's start off with perhaps the most popular type of rifle in the world, the rimfire rifle. And as well, the most popular rimfire cartridge there is, the .22 long rifle. The .22 long rifle is a proven round that has been with us for over a century. It can take down any amount of small game and it is extremely cheap compared to pretty much every other cartridge on the market. In all honesty, the .22 long rifle is my favourite round of all time. It is so cheap that I will not have to take out a loan if I want to shoot all afternoon. Not to mention that due to its low noise and low recoil, the .22 long rifle is perfect for teaching those who are intimidated by large calibers. However, if you chose a rimfire rifle over anything else, what type of action should you use? Personally, I prefer a good quality semi-auto. However, semi is not the most reliable action there is, and if you could only have one type of action, it is probably best if it is the most reliable type of action. That is why I would choose a good quality bolt action rifle, but admittedly, I wouldn't want it chambered in the .22 long rifle. Instead, I would have it chambered in .22 Magnum or a similar cartridge. A packet of .22 Magnum is a little bit more expensive than a packet of .22 long rifle, but it is still a relatively cheap round compared to most. The .22 Mag is more powerful and harder hitting than the .22 long rifle. You can get more range, thus meaning hopefully more game for your freezer. At the same time, the .22 Mag does not completely destroy a rabbit or a hare like a lot of centerfire cartridges would. There are also many stories about hunters even killing deer and other medium game with a .22 mag, but I wouldn't recommend doing so unless I had to. The only real downsides to these rimfire cartridges is range and impact. They are limited severely by what they can take down, however, they are not a bad choice by any means. Now, depending on what centerfire rifle round you choose would determine the types of game you can take down. A good intermediate cartridge means you can take down small game and medium game. This gives you a variety of game animals that you can kill to put in your freezer. If you are using a 223 or a 7.62 by 39, you can easily and humanely take down larger game animals than a rimfire cartridge. But still, if you get a good shot, you can take down a small game animal without damaging too much of the meat. However, you will still damage more meat than if you shot it with a rimfire rifle. If you do choose a centerfire rifle, however, arguably the best type of action would be a bolt action because of less moving parts and it's easier to fix. You can also get butchered military surplus rifles for the cheap if you are on an extremely tight budget. These rifles may have few faults with them and a majority of them are not as good as their modern counterparts. Many of these rifles do not have optic mount and some different types of ammo for these rifles are hard to find. You will on occasion see the odd complete and original rifle, but these are usually just range toys, hand-me-downs or collector items. These military surplus rifles that are in original condition also cost a hell of a lot more than the cut down counterparts. Two big negatives with choosing a centerfire rifle is the cost of ammo and inability to take down small game without damaging a lot of the meat. Apart from these two negatives, the centerfire rifle may just be the type of firearm for you. Lastly is the shotgun. Shotguns are as old as firearms themselves. The projectiles in the first ever firearms were a handful of rocks shoved down a tube, and when fired they acted like shotgun pellets spreading across an area. There are many different types of shotguns and shotgun gauges. If the 12 gauge is too much to handle, then you could use a 16 gauge, 20 gauge or even the tiny 410. Personally, I mainly use a semi-automatic brown and gold 12 gauge for duck shooting and rabbits and hares. gauges. As my backup, I have a Winchester 1200 12 gauge as well. I predominantly use a semi for small game animals because of my bad shoulder, but the pump action has less moving parts and has never jammed nor had a problem. Not only can you get semis and pumps, but you can also get under and overs, side by sides, lever actions, and even bolt action shotguns, but the latter is a bit rare, and in some cases bolt action shotguns are useless. There is also a huge variety of projectiles you can shoot. Buckshot, slugs, and birdshot are the most common projectiles. Buckshot and slugs can be used on medium game, and birdshot can be used on a variety of small game. There are different sizes of buckshot and birdshot you can shoot depending on what you're going after as well. You can shoot medium game, small game, birds in flight, and much more with a shotgun. Most shotgun ammo is also quite cheap compared to centerfire rifle ammo. So what type of firearm is the most versatile in my opinion? Well, it has to be a shotgun. This is because there's a huge variety of ammo, accessibility, different gauges, and an assortment of actions. My next choice would be a good quality rimfire rifle, but I do not believe it is in the same class as the 12 gauge shotgun. The main benefits of a rimfire rifle versus a shotgun is range and price of ammo.